Over the last year to 2 years, you've heard me time and again talk about the dangers of prescription drugs in the hands of our youth who do not know how to use them properly, who are taking them improperly. We have one of the highest opioid addiction rates in the country, and we're doing everything that we can to make sure that we're keeping prescription drugs out of the hands of our youth. We've talked to people about proper ways of disposing of their prescription drugs. Mark Adams and the guys and gals at the crime lab have done a great job on Thursdays. People have been able to take their prescription drugs to the crime lab, but we want to make it easier for the citizens of Albuquerque to properly dispose of their prescription drugs. And so starting next week, by late next week, if you go into any one of your substations, any of the 6 substations in the city of Albuquerque, or the mini subs, which we're here at the Dwyer substation today, or Rio Grande in Central, the substation down there, you will find a box that looks like this inside of the building. It's very simple. We're asking you to take your prescription drugs, take them out of your prescription bottles because we do not want your personal information. Put them into a Ziploc bag, bring them down, drop them off just like you would a piece of mail in this particular disposal box inside of the substations, and the Albuquerque Police Department will then properly dispose of those prescription drugs. We're trying to get people and asking people not to flush your prescription drugs down the toilet. That impacts our water supply. We work closely with the Water Authority to make sure that we're keeping the gray water that goes through our system as clean as possible. So please don't flush them down the sink or the toilet if you can help it. If you have time, there's a substation near you in the city of Albuquerque. Simply put them in a Ziploc bag, bring them by to the substations and drop them off. Chief Schultz is going to talk a little bit about some of the do's and don'ts of the program. Of course, we don't want syringes or liquids. We don't want firearms or anything. We have other programs for that. But I'll let Chief explain a little bit more of the details. And then we'd like to have Councilor Jones, we're in her district today, talk a little bit about what this means for her district and the Dwyer substation. Chief?
Thank you, Mayor. We started in 2010 by doing a very aggressive drug take-back program. And as the Mayor said, as a result of too many accidents that were happening in the community and the illegal sale and transfer of old prescription drugs that was seen at many of our high schools. So in 2010, we started trying to figure out a way to make it easy for the public to get rid of their old drugs other than flushing them down the toilet, as the Mayor said. And we actually had purchased an incinerator at the time, so we decided to work with the Board of Pharmacy and the DEA to first of all get our incinerator authorized as one of the first ones in the state to get rid of old drugs. But then we wanted to start a collection process. And we've been doing that every Thursday over the course of the past couple of years. Yesterday we collected over 50 pounds of pills, and since the beginning of the project we've collected over 963,000 individual pills that people have dropped off. That has an estimated street value of $1,156,000. So the program is working, it is making a difference, but one of the words and one of the things that we heard from the community is it's a little too hard to get down to the crime lab on Thursdays because of work schedules and schools and families. So the crime lab, working in conjunction with the U.S. Postal Service, was able to obtain some old mailboxes that were going to be recycled. They came up with this design themselves internally. They've sandblasted them, they've painted them, and these will be placed in all of the lobbies of all the substations. They'll be bolted to the floor, to the wall, so they won't just walk out. And anytime that we're open, people can bring those old prescription drugs and drop them off themselves. As the Mayor said, we do not want your personal information. All we want are the pills. We do not want chemicals or syringes, but there will also be a syringe container as well at the facility, so you can drop those off as well. Again, this is just another way to create another community service while keeping our environment safe and clean. As an added note, last month the Albuquerque Police Department was given this Award of Excellence by the Water Authority for the work that the men and women of the police department and specifically the crime lab have done to help keep our drinking water clean and keeping these chemicals out of the river, basically. So we're proud of this partnership. We're proud of being able to expand the program, and we think these mailboxes look pretty cool.
Thanks. Thanks, Chief. I want to bring Councilor Trudy Jones up from District 7. When Trudy found out about this, District 8, what did I say, District 7? I'm sorry, my mistake. That's Councilor Cook. talk to his folks with different press conference. Yeah, we're in District 8 at the Dwyer substation, and Councilor Jones, when she found out about this program, she really wanted to ensure that there was one of these in her substation in District 8 as well. So she's really been an advocate, working with us hand in hand to make sure that this program gets put into place, and I'd like her to say a few words as well.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Chief. This is a good program for all of us, and it's especially nice that it is so easy to access in all the substations and the mini substations. One of the nice things, we all have some kind of a prescription drug. It's not just narcotic type of drugs, but all prescription drugs. We don't want to flush them down the toilet. That's not the best place for them. So for anyone who has an issue, has a medicine chest full of drugs that they haven't taken all of them, they need to go away someplace, just put them all in that Ziploc bag, bring them to a substation. This particular one is right at Tramway in Montgomery, always safe. There are officers there. There's the best part. If it's open, there are officers there. Just walk in, stick it in, no questions asked, and you've taken care of a problem that you might have, and we've helped the city be safer. So thank you all.
Thanks, Trudy. I'll just end on this note, and then we'll answer any questions you might have. When I meet with Jennifer Weiss, who's with the Heroin Awareness Committee, and I meet with parents of children and students and young folks who have died from opioid addiction and from heroin overdoses, too many times the story starts with prescription drugs, and many times the story starts with drugs that come out of their grandparents or their parents' medicine cabinets at home. Drugs have expiration dates on them. Very few, I think, have anything more than a year. So everybody, if you went and looked tonight, if you watch this newscast and you look in your medicine cabinet, I will almost guarantee you've probably got prescription drugs that are expired in there. Don't leave those where children and youth can get them. Don't put them in the trash where someone can take them and sell them on the open market and get some youngster hooked on drugs. And don't flush them down the toilet. That damages our water supply as well. So this is a safe, easy, convenient way. Congratulations, Chief, all the people that helped with this, Mark, and all the team that really helped put this together. Thanks so much. It's a good deal. It's a good common sense solution to a serious problem we have.